Hello, and thanks for watching. Hopefully this video can help you. And you're not gonna repeat what I am going through, and will save you a lot of money. This fix is costing me a little bit under $1,000. Anyways, so I had a not large, substantial vibration during driving between speeds 65 and 70. Did not know what it was. I went to the shop and they looked at the front suspension, told me to replace this, that. I replaced everything, balanced the tires, everything like that on the vehicle. I'm working on 2500 Dodge Ram Cummins engine, right? So yeah, nothing fixed this. Still had vibration after all this. But one day I was driving and I noticed it does not want to shift. And it was weird. And I pulled over, I looked, a bunch of whatever, the transmission fluid, whatever's on the on the frame and on the bottom of the trainee. And I looked at the dipstick and there was nothing there, so I added a bunch of transmission oil, and I made it home with that kind of, I wasn't far away. Anyways, I came in, pulled into this garage, started looking at everything, and I noticed a crack on Overdrive housing. This is a new housing where I picked up from eBay. I paid a little under $300. It was an empty housing, and so it cracked right down here. There are the pieces from my old one, and the old one, I'll show you what the old one looks like. Right there, so it's where it cracked along here. So I noticed this cracked, and I did not know what the heck's going on. After doing some more research and talking to some folks, they said that my U-joints on my drive shaft are bad. So prior to this, I went to the shop and had them look at the suspension because such a vibration. They looked at the U-joints on the shaft. They didn't see anything. Well, by touching the drive shaft and moving it, you won't be able to see it unless you remove the drive shaft all the way out of the truck and then move the U-joints, and you can test them that way. That's the only way you can test them the proper way. Anyways, so towards the transmission, on the drive shaft towards transmission, the U-joints were broken, were bad. I mean, it was bad. There was one bearing, there was no pins, what do you call it, those pins. It was all dry, it was loose, it was vibrating. So that was my cause. It created such a vibration that it cracked this overdrive housing. Well, so that's where it all started. I had to take this transmission off, and I'm glad that everything is still good inside. I didn't burn anything. The clutch is everything good. So I bought this off eBay, under $300 empty. I took it to the shop. The shop charged me $450 to replace the inside from my old one into here. So they did replace the snap ring, they replaced the gear bearing, and they replaced the gasket that's on the back end. They got this from the dealer. I guess aftermarket gaskets leak, so I would suggest you get it from the dealer. So that's what they did. So yeah, so that was that. That's expensive right there, just to replace those, just to take it from the old one, put it in here for $50. Easy money, right, for them? Anyways, so that's the problem. So that's a lesson learned, is if you have vibration at certain speeds, probably a U-joints, and that's the thing. Go and look at it, because that's a cause often happens to people. So now I am gonna install this housing onto the transmission and go and get that done. So when it cracked, it sheared some of the bolts. It sheared two of these bolts from vibration. I know it's crazy, but here are the bolts. So this one, I was able to get it out. It sheared the bolt head. It was the stub was sticking out, and the shaft was, so I was able to take this one out. This one is still in there. I gotta get the bolt extractor and get this one out. But yeah, it's kind of sucky. But anyway, so there's a gasket on here, old one. You gotta cut it out, cut around the circle. Right here, I kind of got it almost cut. I gotta cut it out because the new gasket comes in and it goes around here. You don't have to take this out. So I'm putting your gasket on, and there's a disc that goes on, like another disc around here that I removed, but it goes back on here anyways, and then that goes in here. This is your park, I believe, shaft. Anyhow, so what I want to say is don't repeat what I have done, and man, it's expensive fix, real expensive fix. So the torque, the guy said at the shop it's about 25 foot-pounds on the torque for these bolts. I haven't verified that, but I will before I start doing the torquing. But anyways, they said that these are the side ones. You gotta torque first, and then kind of go down and up and down and up. This would be the last bolt you want to torque. So it sounds like, from their experience, this side cracks a lot. I don't know why. Hopefully this housing is strong enough not to do it. Not sure what kind of, but anyways, this one cracks a lot, so this will be the last one to torque. And yeah, and then I got installed a new speed sensor, which is down here. That thing was broken on me because when I was pulling this thing out, I accidentally fractured it. Anyways, this is the engine side. Everything's good on the transmission. I mean, the oil smells good. It's not burned. I didn't drive too far. It would, you know, actually I didn't drive at all with the oil. As soon as I saw his shift doesn't shift, I stopped and I added some oil to it, and there we go. So yeah, U-joints caused this issue right here. It's kind of sad. Okay, hopefully this short video helps you to make sure your U-joints are good on your vehicles. Otherwise, at least on these RE48 transmissions, that's what happens. The casing cracked. The rest of it's fine. This is the weak spot on here. These are the pieces from it. That's the weak spot. Aluminum, casted aluminum. If you're interested how I'm drilling this or extracting this stud that broke, so I drilled it first through it, a hole through it, and a little bit of oil. Just engine oil is fine, you know, so it doesn't get hot. I just dip the tip in the engine oil, drill the hole through it, okay? And then there is this extractor piece. Where are we at? Right there. Goes in there, and I have this tool for that comes with this set for the threads, and it got in there, and I taped everything. I don't want any, at least I don't want any shavings coming into my, so there she is. It's coming out like a beauty, like a beauty. So yeah, this is how you get the broken studs out. So I got it on there. The tricky part was that there is this brake shaft, has to fit inside this groove, or there's like a little catch, and that catch goes up into the gear. So you gotta kind of twist this little bit back and forth to get that little catch piece go into the gear, otherwise it won't fit in. And don't force it in there. It should go easy. And I'm getting the bolts on there now. Don't forget these little clips. They go on each side easy for the harness. But yeah, and then it had a little thread lock on there, as you can see, the yellow. So I'm using this blue thread lock on it, but it went in pretty nice. No issues, no problems. This little tab can be cut off after. This is to align it. Yeah, looks good.